And we're back here once again with another episode of the Cloud9 Podcast, Season 17, Episode 15. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great weekend that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the Cloud9 Podcast, I am going to be talking with Heath, who is a Miami Heat fan, actually. And I know you guys have been kind of wondering what is going to be the direction of the show moving forward. So, basically, long story short, I wanted to actually start covering, the NBA and the NFL more because, covering like, League of Legends or Law Esports, as they say, for a long time. And I was like, you know what? I just really love talking about competitive League of Legends on the show with the various co-hosts and, panelist guests that we've had throughout the many years. And it came up that me and Chaz would always talk about the NBA at some point when he was on the show consistently. He's not really consistently here anymore because he's just been busy playing Pokemon, actually. Well, competitive Pokemon, the trading card game, actually. And I got really back into watching the NBA like some few years ago. I think it was around the time like the Celtics beat the Mavericks. And I was like, man, I really miss watching this. And keep in mind, I wasn't always not watching. I would watch here and there, but I wasn't as faithfully watching in some years, actually. And then I got really back hard into watching it. Same with the NFL too. And I just, I really love watching sports. I really do. Basketball and football are my favorite sports to watch, and I even, am going to support a few more teams because, I just love this stuff so much. And, I was talking with Noops, as you guys know, Noops, who does the sports betting, actually. And I was like, you know what? I kind of need to go and find some more, NBA co-hosts or people that want to come on the show every once in a while or at least once a week to, cover the games in the regular season. So moving forward, if you guys see more like solo dedicated episodes for the Cloud9 podcast talking about the NBA, well, currently I am actually doing that. I actually put out a few ads on Facebook in a few of the, dedicated team groups, actually. So they would actually respond and be like, hey, if I'm interested in coming on the show. And I was like, oh, okay. So we hit it up and I have to kind of see if the person's real because I had someone that was like, hey, I'm interested. Look at that person. That person was definitely a troll. So, and I love Facebook too. And Facebook is a great place to meet people like Heath, who's here, and I'm going to talk to him in just a moment here. And so moving forward, I'm going to be talking with, quite a bit of, basketball fans of their teams and of the NBA in general, and then get them ready to talk and have them, on the stream. And then by the time the season ends and by the time the season starts coming up for the 2026-2027 NBA season, whoever, is the best that out of who I had ended up talking to on the show will just, come on the show and, we'll cover the games, talk about the games and talk about why the teams we support are absolutely just wanting to make us rip all the hair off our fucking heads, actually, and just, cover the games moving forward, actually. I'm going to try and do this with the NFL as well, but good Lord, football fans are different breed, actually. Let's just say that. So, yeah, if you guys see a lot more like one-on-one talking with episodes on the show, that's kind of what I want to do as well. I'm still going to cover league as much as I can, but it's just really hard to find someone who's just, going to cover competitive League of Legends, consistently with me anymore. So that's just why I ended up making that like pivot early on to just have the show cover both, Law Esports and the NBA and NFL, actually. So Heath was someone that I got in contact with through someone else, actually, very close to him. And he likes the NBA too. So he's here. Hi, Heath. How are you doing, man?
Hello. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. Doing good.
Anytime, man. You know what's crazy? You sound like someone I used to know. Good Lord.
Really?
He was into anime a lot. He was an obsessive Naruto fan in the worst ways possible. Absolutely
I
worst
haven't
ways
seen it.
possible. This guy would, man, suck off Naruto like he was getting on his knees and taking dick to his throat. Good absolute
Wow.
God.
All right. Amazing.
So, let's start with your origin story. Then we'll talk about some of your favorite, basketball games and moments and series throughout your life. And then we can talk about, the games that just happened as well. So, how was your life growing up, actually?
Well, growing up, life was good. Life was good growing up. I was always into sports. Sports was always big for me, and my dad was a big reason for that. He would always watch either the Dolphins or the Heat. So I just grew up watching the Dolphins and the Heat, and I fell in love with it. It was really basketball and football. Those were my two major sports that I would grow up watching.
Mhm.
And me, I'm 25 years old. I was born in 2000, so it was around that time where LeBron came to the Heat, where I really started to just watch basketball, where I would really get into basketball. And off of that, that's it. The journey, it took off. That was just basically the inception of my basketball watching journey, because I just
Yes.
fell in love with the sport afterwards. I just wanted to watch it, and what a time to be alive to watch it, to watch the Heat at that point in time when they were
That's
winning
true.
championships at the top of the world. That was great. So that's really where like my sports journey started. And since then, I've just been a diehard Heat fan. I just love the Heat. I try to catch every game that I can. And so that's basically where that starts. Yeah.
Okay. So, what's crazy is you still remember the Ray Allen clutch three against the
Great
Spurs?
shot. Yep.
Yeah, great shot. It's crazy because that the Miami Heat team, which was LeBron and Chris Boss and Dwayne Wade, man, good lord. Do you think that could ever happen again? Moving forward.
So hard to imagine. Like, you have to think about the magnitude of that team and just like how popular it really was. Like, LeBron had coined the phrase the Heatles, and there was a reason he did that, because they really were the talk of the
Mhm.
town. Like, they were on top of the world. You had superstar talent, you had Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh, and they were just the talk of the town around the NBA. They were on on ESPN all the time,
Yeah.
and it's so much star power that I don't think you can replicate it. I think we might have success winning. I'm sure I mean, at least I hope we do in the near future. But as far as that, like, being the talk of the town, where all eyes are on you, where you're really, you have the best player in the world, you got the villain, that I don't think can be replicated to that extent. It was huge. Like, it
Yeah,
was
people.
huge. It took Miami by storm.
Yeah, man. People forget like after the Lakers won against the Celtics the previous year, it was pretty much like you had that super team Miami Heat kind of little small era you had right there with them and the Spurs. You had the Mavericks that made the finals that year. Man, it was a crazy time back then. Like, you go back and watch these games because they like the NBA YouTube channel will stream the games live. You go back and watch that shit. Man, there was a different kind of energy back then with the NBA, actually. Man, people
It
were just
really
going
was.
insane. I still remember, like, goddamn. Like, actually, if you guys don't know, I think it was yesterday or the day before that. I think it was Thursday, where it was the anniversary of Kobe's game-winning shot against, the Sixers, actually, to move forward. I'm pretty sure it was the Sixers, and you just see the energy in the crowd just being so much more different back then. I'm not saying that people aren't as passionate about their teams now, or there's not like mega diehard fans of their teams, because as evidence what just happened last night with the Magic, they like actually hate their team, but based on what just happened to them. So, and I don't know what is your general sentiment about the NBA actually now? Like, do you think it has a positive sentiment around you where you live actually?
Well, because I'm in Miami and because the team's not doing great, I think it's died down. Like I said, like that fire that you were that the team had around the LeBron era was just was crazy. It was nothing like it. So it's died down now. But you had said something earlier about diehard fans. I think honestly, it's less so now than it was back then, because back
Mhm.
then it was really more localized, and you would watch your team growing up, and you didn't have social media to keep up with all the other teams, and a
Could
lot
you
of times
imagine social media back then? Could you imagine
crazy,
it?
crazy. It'd
Yeah.
be crazy. Yeah, it'd definitely change the landscape. It'd be extremely different. But yeah, so you have like more diehard fans back then, I think, and everything was more localized. You would watch your local team on your cable or whatever. Today, you can just watch any team you want. Buy any streaming platform, watch it, follow any team you want, buy the NBA pass, and watch any team abroad or whatever. And then with social media now, it's yeah, I think there's less of that die hard, like where people are just really riding for like a team. It's more like a player. They're following a player. They're following LeBron. They're following
Yeah.
Curry or whatever the case may be. I think it's more like that. But I
Mhm.
mean, the NBA, it's good. It's good. I think it's going in a good direction. I like the young players. I think they're doing pretty good. Victor Wembanyama, you got Chet Holmgren, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the new era. They're definitely, it's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be better
Yeah.
with time.
Because I asked everybody this too. You also watch the Heat games, but do you watch other games as well?
I do, yeah. I try to catch like the prime time matchups. Anytime the Nuggets are playing, or anytime the Thunder are
Oh,
playing, the Spurs.
they won't be playing anymore this year, as you saw.
Yeah, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. So
Holy shit! Good
yeah,
lord,
and
why you throwing the Nuggets strays, man? Why you gotta do that?
I actually really like the Nuggets. I used
Me
to watch.
too.
That's
Yeah, I
probably,
like
other
them.
than the
Yeah.
Heat. Other than the Heat, that would probably be the second most team that I've watched, because I really like Nikola Jokic. He's really
Mhm.
good. But yeah, that was disappointing. That was that's gonna be a stain on his legacy.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I establish that. What are the other things to cover? So outside of basketball, before we get back to talking about that, are there any other things you're a fan of too?
I mean, in terms of sports or just in general?
It's just an error. I know you mentioned anime. You're a fan of anime too.
I'm a fan of anime. Yeah, a fan of anime. I like reading, editing. I'll catch some football here and there. Maybe less so now than I would when I was a kid, but I'll catch some
Yeah.
football here and there. But yeah, those are really the main
The
things.
Dolphins really to be good lord.
Really bad, really bad. Yeah.
How
Yeah, that's really bad.
just what happened, man? What's going on with the Dolphins, man? What's going on with them, dude?
Yeah, I'm not.
I think they're just doing off
it's
vibes now. They're just vibe. You know how like kids say these days, we're just playing off vibes these days. I think that's what Dolphins are. They're just vibing. Oh, it's okay. All
yeah.
right.
It looks like they're just trying stuff now. And hey, by all means, you got to change it up, do something different. But yeah, it was
I agree
really
with
bad
that.
situation with the coach.
Mhm.
You had some crazy reports coming out saying that some
I
of the
remember.
players were even putting their hands on the coach or something like
Good
that. I don't
lord.
know what's going on. Yeah, so
What the fuck?
it's just bad. The culture is bad. You got to build a culture around it, and that's really where I give Pat Riley credit because he did do that with the Heat. He installed that type of culture,
You're right.
that
You're right.
mentality,
Mhm.
that hardworking. There's no nonsense when you go play for the Heat. The Dolphins need that. They need a leader like that that's going to establish that type of culture.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you mentioned anime, what are some of your favorite animes that you've watched throughout your life?
Well, my favorite by far has to. I haven't seen a lot. I'm pretty new
Okay,
to the scene. I've only started
that's fine.
watching the last like
Fine.
3-4 years. I
Three, four.
can't claim to
Oh,
be.
just a little bit. 3, 4. Oh my
Yeah, yeah.
god.
Well, some people they take it very serious. Some people been watching since they were kids, and they were talking about before the Great Anime Awakening, and
Yeah. Yeah.
before when they had to
I know what
hide
you
that
mean.
they were an anime fan in school or
Yeah.
whatever, crazy stuff. So I wasn't one of those. I wasn't. I caught on to it late,
You
but
came into it
as
a little
far
bit
as
later. Yeah.
a
Okay.
little bit later, yeah, when it was more acceptable culturally, I guess, or more popular culturally
That's
in
fine.
the United States, I guess.
Happens. Everyone's
But
got their jumping on points.
yeah, so I guess my favorite by far, no question, has to be Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if you've seen Hunter x Hunter.
I have.
Hunter
I
x
love Hunter
Hunter.
x Hunter.
Yeah,
It's
so
really good. Yeah.
that's my favorite. That's 10 out of 10 anime for me. I don't know that I can
Peak
top it. I mean, I
storytelling.
haven't seen an anime peak. It's just character development, the writing, the dialogue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything I look for in the movie, that anime had, and it did it
Especially the
great.
arc
So
where they're finding. I forgot. Oh my god. I think it's season 2. That is my favorite arc in an anime ever.
the Phantom
Oh
Troop
my
arc, yeah, I
god.
think that's
Shit
what you're
is
talking
so
about.
peak. Why they got Hisoka out here acting like Diddy? What's Hisoka
Yeah, that's
Diddy?
crazy.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, he definitely, he's freaky. He's freaky. You gotta watch him. You gotta keep an eye on him at all times.
Man, he like
Yeah.
killed that. He like slit that black dude's fucking throat when he was trying to attack Gon. Like Gon was trying to do something. I remember in that one arc. It's my favorite arc. Oh my god, season 2 when it was also the same arc where they had to like touch that snake guy to grab that pass of him. Oh my god, woo, god, shit is so peak, man. But yeah, any
it's
other
really good.
ones in your arsenal?
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is really good. I caught the movie not too long ago. Great anime.
Okay.
That's probably my second favorite. If I had to do a list, I haven't thought too deeply about it, but
Yeah.
Demon Slayer's up there. Vinland Saga's up there.
I've heard Vinland Saga is good. I think Demon Slayer. I have the people can't see it right now. I'm actually rearranging my house. I have the Demon Slayer manga. I just haven't had a chance to read it. I've heard good things about both of these. I heard Vinland Saga is very good. I have.
Oh, you haven't seen either?
Oh god, no. I've the last anime I watched was My Hero, and that was technically I was reading the manga. But I was also watching it too as well. So that's the last anime that I watched. Did you also watch Fullmetal Alchemist by any chance?
I did, yeah. I'm finishing it right now. I have like 6-7 more episodes to go in the show.
Or the
in
original?
Brotherhood, yeah. In Brotherhood, yeah.
Is this
Brotherhood.
man?
It's really good. It's really good, yeah.
Peak anime is Fullmetal Alchemist. I don't care what anybody says. That shit is so good.
That's your favorite?
Definitely top 10. Definitely top 3. It's so good. I rewatched it not too long ago. Man, that shit holds up so well. All the themes. Oh my god! Like back when man, because and what's crazy is I think the original has the worst ending of it, probably an anime ever. But I understand because the manga was still being written. I understand, but I just both of them are very good, minus the original ending of the first one. But man, just fucking hell, like the Hughes moments. The World War II themes, Scar.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh my god. Just my goodness, like the homunculi, how they function. And then actually, the more I realized about the series, because you watched it, Because you know how like they're trying to get the Philosopher's Stone for like human transmutation, all that shit.
Right.
It's still kind of pretty much ominously known throughout the show that that's not even going to give you what you want. I guess the whole theme of the show is pretty much like you just can't play God essentially with these kind of things. If bad things happen, you just kind of have to just like, take them as they go and just kind of work with what you have. I think that's the theme of the show, but I don't know. That show is so good, especially the opening too. The Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood opening is just
great openings. Yeah,
10 out of 10. Just My Hero Academia, because you mentioned earlier, I feel like My Hero Academia has the worst endings and openings. I think I only like one of My Hero's endings actually. It's ending 2 when they were doing that exam when Todoroki was becoming more of a prominent character in the show. I like the second opening, but Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood opening, slam dunk. Just
My Hero Academia's openings are not good. I just finished season 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Horrible opening. Horrible. I had to skip it every time.
Yeah,
that's the war arc. That's when the war
not
starts.
Trying, dude. Right? Fucking.
Yeah. Not my style.
They have to. It's like this weird kind of punk rock alternate shit, and it's just not good. I'm like, I don't like. I try it, and usually I'll always watch openings because there's some banger anime openings and endings, really dime pieces. But My Hero has the worst. Like it's awful. So you watch Demon Slayer, My Hero, Hunter x Hunter, Vinland Saga, Fullmetal Alchemist. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head, but Cowboy Bebop was really good, good. What else did I see? I'm trying to remember. Maybe if you throw some names at me.
Actually, I'll throw one.
Attack on Titan. Everybody loves Attack on Titan. That was good.
I only watched episode 1 of that. It was just not. I'm not saying it wasn't my thing. I just never fully got into it that much. I do have to finish it, but I remember episode 1. It wasn't that bad. It was fine. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Like it definitely is a different style. Because newer animes are a little different style. I just have to get used to it. I'm a little bit of a boomer. Good Lord. I was one of those nerds in school that liked anime. You definitely got ostracized if you liked anime growing up. I'm not lying. Nice. People don't understand this stuff. But any other? Actually, I know because you watched Cowboy Bebop because I was on Toonami at some point. I think you'll really enjoy S Cryed. It's only 26 episodes. And Samurai 7 is also only like 27 episodes. I like the little smaller anime sometimes too. Ones that are like 27, 26 episodes. Those are like,
I agree. Yeah.
Those are just short, sweet, to the point. S Cryed, banger opening. Absolutely just 10 out of 10. All right. So since you're a Heat fan, we'll talk about the Heat because actually, as you guys know, Miami Heat, post, the LeBron James and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade super team era have, how would I say this though? Well, there was a finals appearance back in it was 2020, right? There was a finals appearance. And then pretty much ever since, and then didn't they have another finals appearance at some point?
2023. Yeah.
Yes, they lost that one. And then ever since then, they've been a play-in team for the last, 3-4 years. But also in the year that they made their last finals appearance in 2023, weren't they also a play-in team that year too?
They were, yeah.
Yeah, so
they went from a play-in team to the finals.
Yeah, so ever since 2022, because they've been a playing team for 4 years straight. So ever since 2022, they've been a playing team. And what was so disgusting about the way ESPN, I think it was oh my God, Kendrick Perkins. Yeah, I can't say his name sometimes. Kendrick Perkins, where he was mentioning that, you remember the LaMelo Ball controversy that just happened like some weeks ago? And he was mentioning, well, the Heat have been a playing team for like 4 years straight. All right, wait, whoa, hold on, whoa, just wait. What the fuck does that have to do with LaMelo Ball intentionally injuring one of their, actually currently right now, one of their best players, their only good player, actually? What the fuck?
Has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah. It's like, do you guys know what that is? That is called a false equivalency. Is when someone tries to compare something to something else and it has actually no equivalent to the other at all. So it'd be like if I was saying, hey, did you watch anime? And Heath goes, yeah. And then it'd be like, and then I would go, whoa, that's the same thing as watching Game of Thrones. Huh? Hello? The fuck? What the hell? You'd be like, in your brain, it's like that Nick Young meme. You're like, huh? It's just like, what the fuck? Like, I actually heard that listening. I was playing a YouTube video. I was sitting here just like, getting on social media, trying to tweet some stuff out before the stream one day, and I watched the playing game live because I had Prime Video because they have free shipping, and you have the sports games, and you have like all the extra content like Invincible and The Voice and stuff. So Prime Video, in my opinion, it's like one of the only valuable streaming services. So I'm watching the playing tournament. As you guys know, we had the show here. We're talking about the NBA, and I'm watching this game, and bam, in the game. Because that other guy, I forgot that other black guy the Hornets have, but that guy won one of the best defensive players of the year. That same guy was getting bodied by Bam in the perimeter. He was getting destroyed defense-wise. You know that he was getting all the rebounds and hustling for the ball? Bam was doing that for the Heat. That guy that I just told before, Bam, was getting destroyed. And then they make the play, and if you just play that video, play it slow, you can see LaMelo's reaction to doing that. It was intentional. I don't give a fuck what that guy says. He is a piece of shit. And then for Kendrick on First Take to say, well, the Heat have been a playing team for 4 years straight. People do know if Bam was in that game, they would win, right? I predicted the Hornets to win going in because they look like the better team. They look kind of, right? Depends on how you watch the games. Yeah. But there was a point where you think in your head, wait a minute, Hornets only won by 1 point. Bam was playing excellent on defense against the Hornets' best defensive player. You think, wait a minute, if he's in the game, wouldn't they just win? They would. The Hornets only won by 1 point. Then the Hornets got absolutely exposed next game by the Magic, who are currently going 7 games against the Detroit Pistons.
Crazy.
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. And then did another fucking retard said more stupid shit. Because this is just the life we live now with stupid people. It's just like saying stupid shit is just a thing now. Someone said you can't take a little because LaMelo Ball should have just been fouled out because you can't do that. Like even when the Heat players did that like some years ago, and I saw that against other people and it was intentional, I was like, yeah, they should be out of the game. Like it should be acceptable. That's the thing. And people said, well, Draymond Green, if he did that, he'd have been thrown out. Yes, stupid fuck. Yes, if you intentionally punch someone in the gut when they're going for a shot, I would imagine you get thrown out. I agree with you. And Draymond has not been known to do that, and he gets thrown out. Draymond Green, guys, got thrown out in that Suns Golden State Warrior playing game because he was arguing with Devin Booker. It was Devin Booker for like 5 minutes straight, and he cussed out the referee.
The referee, yeah.
Yeah, he got thrown out because of that. Keep in mind. And people said, I heard some fucking retard. Oh, we live with a lot of retards these days. Just so many retards. Someone said, if you throw out LaMelo Ball, then that means the ratings are going to hurt and the Hornets hurt because they don't have their best player. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. My brain can't take it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Please. Guys, you know what you just told me? It's okay if the Hornets' best player intentionally injures the Heat's best player, but it's not okay to throw out your best player because your chances might go down of losing. Holy shit! What? Holy fuck! Wait a minute. It's okay if their best player takes out their best player because, and we can't throw out LaMelo. Can't do that because then that's going to hurt the Hornets' chance of moving forward. Wait. But what he just did intentionally hurt their chance of moving forward by injuring their best player. I was like, what? What? Maybe you can help me. Why are we dealing with such stupid people here? Hold on. Wait a minute. You can't kick out a person who literally intentionally threw out someone else's best player. But if I get removed, that hurts my team's chances of winning. Yes, genius. Doesn't take that much IQ to understand that. I was like, and then in the game, I feel like a big problem with the game, not the game itself. It's just like all the rotations that Eric Spoelstra made didn't really make a lot of sense later on down the stretch. I mean, the Hornets were only getting kept alive by Kobe White. Kobe White made a lot of clutch three-pointers to keep them alive because Khan loves nipples. He was having an absolutely atrocious playoff game. People talk about choking in playoff games. Oh, he was choking. I'm talking like Adriana Chedick fucking dick to your fucking esophagus choking. Like I'm talking like massive choking he's doing there. he couldn't hit a shot at all. Bro was just straight up chucking that three. My mind's telling me no. Bro was just out there just killing it on the 3-pointer. Not in a good way. Not in a good. And then also in the game, Tyler Harrell, because he's a lot of the talk of Heat fans too. And keep in mind, I like watching Heat games too. I'm a filthy Heat enjoyer myself. Tyler Harrell, to be fair, saved the game because it got to a point where they're like 5 ahead. He saved the game, had a chance to end the game, missed the final winning shot. It goes to overtime, and then he just, kind of wasn't. But before all of that, he wasn't really doing anything in the game anyway. He wasn't really that good in the game. I think the other guy, I forget his name. I'm gonna have to bring up his name right now because I fucking forget these names sometimes. Too many black people. Heath, god damn it, man. Too many blacks.
Peace.
One second here. Fucking hell. But no, I'll ask you, when you were watching that play-in game, what was going through your mind watching this game?
Yeah, well, back to the LaMelo play, as you pointed out, it was, anybody with eyes can see that it was clearly a dirty play. The guy, he puts his hand right over Bam to trip him. And so, clear as day, it's a dirty play, and I wasn't even mad that they didn't really throw him out at the time, but it was obviously intentional. He intended to do it. He did it out of frustration. And when he did it, he did it. So that was that. And as far as Kendrick Perkins, that guy, it's ridiculous, really, what he said. Like how you said, what does one have to do with the other? It really doesn't.
I don't know what being a playing team, what does being a playing team have to deal with their best player getting injured intentionally by the other guy?
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah, because he had said, you can't throw a LaMelo ball in a play like that. Well,
yeah, Kendrick Perkins is not great.
Yeah, and then the other problem with the game was that just because the possession changed, they said they couldn't review it. Wait a minute, but that's no. The coach and Bam specifically asked the referees review the play now. Yes, the possession changed, that happened, but and people said, well, they didn't ask for it fast enough. They did. They quite literally stopped and asked, can you review this? They literally said, no, we can't do that right now. But then they reviewed it after the game is over, after the result was, done. And then they said, well, LaMelo Ball, he has a flagrant 2 or whatever it was they gave him. He still wasn't ruled out to play against the Magic. He still wasn't ruled out. And I was like, wait a minute, what? You couldn't have reviewed the play right then and there, but you reviewed it after the game's over, after the result, and then you came to the conclusion that we all did that it was a bad, dirty play. I try to come up with words for these things because they just are that crazy. Actually, me saying this, I realize how ridiculous it sounds, actually, but god damn, good lord, bro, just what are we doing here? Like, I don't know. Because they said because the possession changed, they couldn't review it, but then reviewed it afterwards, and then came to the same conclusion we all did. That's retarded. That's fucking stupid. Like, it would have been crazy if the Heat had actually won the game, and then they'd advanced, because they would have faced, what's crazy, they'd be facing someone also in your state. Magic, actually.
The Magic, right? Yeah.
Crazy, right? And then that would have been a pretty fun matchup to see, but I just don't know. I hate when stuff like that happens, because not only does it impact another team, it also lets another team just get away with just blatantly just injuring another guy. And then what's crazy is, Mikal Bridges was out here just like fucking Nightwing, like Batmaning his wife not too long ago. And then the Hornets are like, well, we can't bench that guy. Beating up women. That's great. That's fucking awesome by the NBA. We don't condemn that on social media. We can't do that. A black guy is out here just fucking Batman two-piecing his wife, just giving her them good old Dragon Ball Z punches. Nah, can't have that. But can't throw a LaMelo Ball if he intentionally injures a player. We're good. In life crazy, Heath. In life crazy.
It's crazy, and it's really an unfortunate situation. I'll be honest with you, when it happened and the Heat lost, because it was a good game. It went down to the wire.
It was a very good game, actually, despite all that stuff.
It was a very good game. Yeah. And how you said before, if Bam is on the floor, I think the Heat win, move on and to play the Magic. Yeah. And funny enough, if the Heat play the Magic and they win and they enter the playoffs, they might even have a chance. If you look at the way the playoffs is rolling out right now, they might even have had a chance to make the finals. It's really crazy.
It's very surprising. Yeah, dude.
Magic and Pistons right now are 7. 7
Right, because
games.
after after a lot of game ones happened for a lot of the series, people were like thinking it was gonna be like last year. Oh well, it's gonna go like 4 games. No, all the series this year have
All the
massively
series.
surprised. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So at first I wasn't too mad about it, but now, yeah, in retrospect, looking at the way the playoffs are rolling out right now, I mean, the Heat might have could have done, made a run or something like that, or at the very least,
yeah,
you see
yeah.
what they do against the Pistons.
Mhm.
But that's in the past. It is what happened. It is what it is. What happened. But it's just, I think it said more about the Heat than it did the Hornets, though, because as I said before, I wasn't too mad that they didn't throw the mellow out. I mean, there was a referee right next to it, though. I don't know how you don't see that, how
You
you don't
know,
call it. It is what it is. But crazy. So, but other than that, I think it said more about the Heat in that,
right,
they
right.
played well. You got to commend the way they played down the stretch.
I
They got it
I
even
did.
without Bam, they got it together, and it
Yeah.
was good. But it did show that they were missing like an enforcer. Like you just saw a player deliberately injure your best player, and the guy just basically went about the game like nothing happened. Back in the day, he would have been put on his ass or something. He would have been put on his ass by a player. Some would have happened to him. He would have got touched up in one way, shape, or form. Or at the very
Oh,
least,
for
they would
sure.
have,
Dude,
really went at him.
just last night on the Rockets and Lakers game when Marcus Smart, I think, accidentally fouled Zengun. He tried to help him up, and the other fucking dude, Jabari Smith, just pushed him. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Even though that
Well, you
that
need
right there is disrespectful. That
right,
should have
right.
got him a
That's
technical.
that's less
just
worse
less.
than what we just
Yeah.
saw. So yeah.
Yeah, I
So
agree. Yeah.
you need that. You need that type of mentality. You need that type of assertiveness on your team. You need like players like that are willing to stand up for your best. But because it is a mentality, like
Mhm. Yeah, I
the
agree.
team has a spirit collectively. And if you
Yes.
let your best player get injured like that, what does that do for the spirit of the team? Well, that just tells any team that they can come in and punk you. And the Heat have been punked before. That's by the Magic too. The Magic, the way they're doing it to the Pistons right now. That's kind of that physicality, that physical game. They're doing it to the Pistons, and they've done it to the Heat before. And the Heat have been susceptible to that. So when you think about everything that the Heat stand for, the whole culture thing and the whole, everybody hates to play us. We're the hardest working. We're the best conditioned. Well, part of that is, you got to be ready to be physical. Like you got to be a physical team. You got to be physical against the opponent. That's your identity. That's what you have to lean into. And there's really nobody on the team like that. You can't ask Tyler Hero to start fights or nothing like that.
Dude, I think Javier Jaquez is one of the most overrated defensive people ever.
Jaquez?
Yeah, I don't think he's that.
Yeah.
I think he's all right. He's not an awful player, but I think the biggest problem with him is he's not big enough to be that. He's not big enough and fast enough.
He's not. He's only like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah. I think so because I know the Heat's offseason is going to be I think the Heat and the Warriors are in the same position right now as far as like kind of like I wouldn't say identity crisis. It's just like they're not fine with where they're at right now with being in the middle, and it's hard to progress based off of the other top dogs in like the league. Because you have who are the top dogs? Obviously, you have OKC, I guess Spurs, and then you have what Nick? Because then you have Knicks, then you have the Cavs. And I guess you could throw in Denver there too, but Denver might be in the same position moving forward. Denver might be in a downward trajectory after this, right? So with the Heat, like I said before, as you guys know, they're like Pat said, Bam's untouchable. Okay, so Bam is staying, and I hope he recovers after that bullshit LaMelo did to him. Tyler Hero, they said might be partying with him, and keep in mind, to be fair to Tyler, to be completely fair to him, he was injured. And they were losing a lot of games. And then when he came back, he did make a difference. He did. But it's one of these things where, like, you know how nowadays, dude, when it comes to, like, people and shit, they're kind of like, what have you done for me lately? More than, like, the overall thing you've done for me. Do you feel like they continue with Tyler Hero? Or they kind of go like, you know what? Let's just kind of move on. Like, I don't know what you do with him because he's not awful. It's not an awful player, but if he's going to be really injury prone, they don't want to have to deal with that next season. Actually,
yeah. Well, he can't be one of your focal points of the team. Like, if it makes sense to sign him for like a lesser deal, I don't think he'll accept a smaller contract role.
He'd rather just get traded. Actually,
so, right in that case, trade him. It makes more sense to trade him. But to continue in the path that we're going, it's going to be impossible. You can't do that. You're going to have to make a decision with him. And, he just can't be a second, even probably third option, like scoring wise on a team. You have to find a role for him. He's probably best coming off the bench as a sixth man because of how much of a defensive liability he is. And he's just not a shot creator. He can't create his own shot. He can't isolate. He's not elite in the pick and roll. He's pretty good, but he's not elite. He's not a closer, which is really the most important thing. He's not a closer. So you
Right.
gotta move on with him. I think you gotta move on with him. If he wants the contract, send him somewhere, let him go, and go forward there. You gotta change it up. You gotta make something up here because what you have going on now is definitely not working.
Yes. Also in the game, Davion Mitchell, I thought played fantastically. I thought
He was
Norman
great.
Powell.
He was great.
Norman Powell. Why did Eric constantly swap this guy out? And then I understand the last play of putting Norman Powell on Kobe White. I understand that, but Kobe White is, I think, because they were going for the foul play. So if Kobe White had missed that, Kobe White would have fouled him. They would have got the extra 2 free throws, and they would have won the game. I understand that. It's just unfortunate Kobe White made that 3-pointer. That's just the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
But do you think Norman stays? I think Norman Powell stays.
It's really one or the other. It's either you keep Tyler Hero or you keep Norman Powell. I think they're done with the experiment of trying to play them both. That's really why Norman Powell wouldn't start when Tyler Hero came back and he was in the starting lineup.
I remember.
Because it's like, how do you play them together? Who do you put at the 2? Who do you put at the 3? And then there's that. The defense suffers greatly when the 2 of them are on the floor together. So I think that experiment is done for. It's either you sign Norman Powell to a respectable contract or you bring Tyler Hero back. One or the other. In my opinion, they'll probably, I don't know. I don't know what you do with Norman Powell. It's really up in arms. Like there is no decisive decision that you can make, way or whatever. It's really, you really got to, that's really more down the line. You got to look at who you're going to sign in the offseason, what type of players you're going to bring in, what type of free agents you're going to bring in, and then make your decisions there. But, either or, but you got to give them less of a role, though. They're definitely not the second, third options on your team, I don't think.
All right. So, I know the other thing to bring up is like, the Pat Riley, he's talked about wanting to bring in Giannis, but like I told people this too. Giannis is like one of those players where like a lot of teams want him or like envision their roster having Giannis, but then they don't subsequently realize that people have to understand this though. Let's say I'm the Bucks and you're the Heat. Okay. You want my best player. Okay. What do I get? What are he going to offer? Bag of chips? 2 bags of chips and a fucking candy bar? Like, no, I'm being serious, guys. This is what people need to consider now. It's not like back in the day where like a bad team with a good player would just offload their good player to a better team. Now people are realizing, wait a minute, if I have that good player and I'm a bad team, I'll just build around that good player that I have. Now, keep in mind, that might not get you any success, but it's better than just being a bad team, obviously. So what can the Heat offer to get Giannis anyway? Then they've also talked about they want Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard might leave the Clippers. He's been on the Clippers for a very long time at this point, since 2019, 2020-ish. I don't know, honestly. Like they need, as you mentioned before, they need a star player though, because the players you have right now, that's just not good enough. I mean, it'll be good enough to be a play-in team if you want to keep being that. If you want to keep being a play-in team, you can. But I'm pretty sure, given the way that Eric has talked, the way that Pat Riley's talked, they don't want to be that anymore. They want to be a team that's competing for like, 3rd, 4th seed, 2nd, 1st seed, potentially, given how a season may go. You're going to need a star player there. At least one. It's been proven now, at least in the NBA, at least one star player can get you there to a certain extent, right? Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer having Giannis or Kawhi Leonard if it's possible to get in? Because then you also got to factor in giving up draft picks too in that as well,
Yeah.
Because essentially you're giving up your future too, right? So
right. It's a big decision. I mean, if you're gonna make it, it's essentially going all in. So, but as far as the 2, who I would choose, definitely Giannis. Giannis. He's younger and a better player at this point of his career. So you got to go for Giannis. He was doing all that flirting in the off season. I mean, before the trade deadline.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That a little distasteful. You don't like to see all that. Let's stop with theatrics. But it is what it is. We'll see what he wants to do. I think he has a big decision in where he wants to go, and he's mentioned Miami before. With interest. So we'll see if he pushes towards that direction. And I think the Heat have actually a pretty comparable trade package. They have like a couple picks and a lot of young players that they can trade. You'd be gutting your team essentially, but for a player like Giannis, you worry about the rest later. You worry about building a team around him later. So I think that's the right decision. You got to go for Giannis first and foremost. We'll see what happens. If he continues with the theatrics, we'll just wait and see until the trade the deal closes. You want to see the deal close, because that's the
Yeah.
thing about the Heat, is that they're always in these conversations of these trades, signing these big players, but they never close the deal. You got to close the deal.
Yeah.
So
Do you think closing
we'll
the
see
deal
there.
ultimately results in, I would say, money? Like maybe they want like a few extra zeros or a few extra millions on their contract, and that's what is ultimately determining it. Because you're right, they've been in deals with a lot of star players. It's not like they can't bring something to the table. So they're definitely bringing something to the table. It's just not.
Yeah.
You're just not getting that ink on the paper. I feel like I don't know what that is though. Is it like City? Is it maybe they don't like the coaches involved? I don't know, honestly, because they've been in conversations to get a lot of star players. I mean, and there's rumors out there, guys. Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murphy, they want to sign them. If they sign Jamal Murphy and Aaron Gordon, that would be insane. Actually, that's pretty good.
That's a good sign.
But then again, Jamal Murray to me is like Austin Reeves. They're very hit or miss. They go off, looks great.
Yeah.
But they have this floor to them where it's, and this floor always tends to happen. I don't know. I would say very inconsistent. Aaron Gordon's also very injury prone. So getting them, I can see the vision. I can see the upside to it. But then again, I'm like, wait a minute. Like I would say before the Heat make any decisions, just kind of see what the options are first. Kind of see what are all the cards on the table. What's the best package you can offer, and then kind of go from there. I mean, yeah, the Nuggets just lost, so technically they're going to be very emotional about what they kind of want to do. And I'm not saying these players were even like actually awful. It's just, it sounds like they want to be a championship contending team with a lot of consistency to back that up. And you need players that have a lot of consistency and are good too. I feel like because with the Bucks, like you said with Giannis, they're not playing him. And he's when Giannis is consistently good, he's just like top 5 player in the league, top 2,
top 3 maybe,
just
top
fucking
3 too.
People should go back and look at the Giannis highlights when he was not like in his prime, you would say, but like kind of in a form where it's his prime, and you could see like this guy is really good. Go watch Giannis plays from just a few years back. Dude is unreal. I can see why a lot of teams want that guy on their team. So we'll see how the Heat's 2026 offseason pans out. But also fuck LaMelo Ball. Just all I gotta say, you fuck that guy. Good Lord.
Yeah, no, I don't like him. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Also the Hornets,
I hope he stubs his toe somewhere.
Here's like but to be fair, seeing them getting humbled by the Magic the day after, I was like,
that was great. I was
great, like, you guys know you're frauds. You know you're frauds. You literally should have lost that game because they were at one point, wasn't it like 52 to like 83? I was like, God damn, they're getting fucking slaughtered.
Blow up.
All right, so have you've been watching the playoffs, right?
I have.
All right. So as you guys know, I haven't got a chance to talk to you guys about the playoffs in like a week or two after the play-in tournament because Noobs has been busy. I've been trying to find more people to come on the show, whether it's been in this format or maybe on a panel show covering the games in the future. What are the 2 best words you want to hear when it comes to NBA playoffs? Game 7 for 2 of the series coming up. We are at Game 7. Man, the playoffs this year have been an absolute just roller coaster, right? Like last year when it came to the playoffs and I was watching it, it was just blowout after blowout after blowout. You're like, wow, this is basketball. It certainly is dribbling. There's certainly some 3-point shooting, and there's certainly some people playing it. But is it real? But I guess it's basketball. This year has been minus the OKC and Sun series. This has been an awesome year for NBA playoffs. Actually, these games have been just so back and forth. Like you had day 1 of the playoff games where they kind of all were what people thought, but then game 2s, 3s, 4. So let's go with it's like the Pistons and Magic, right? So you have the Pistons and Magic. So the Pistons started in the series down 3-1. The Magic just completely exposed how bad their offense and defense can be because the Pistons like to rely on Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. And Cade Cunningham actually just is, man, that guy is too good. That guy's too good. Fucking hell. And you get to a point where now the Pistons might actually reverse sweep. I guess you could say reverse sweep actually. It's going to game 7 coming up. On what's it? Is it tonight? Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, it's tonight. I'm pretty sure it's tonight actually, or it's gonna be.
I think it's
Saturday.
tomorrow.
It might be tomorrow
or
or next Saturday.
the
It
day
might
after.
be. But yo, this series. So the Magic are yesterday. Okay, so as you guys know, in my background, I'm cleaning my house, right? So I'm just chilling with the boys. We're just watching the game on Prime. Magic are up 24, right? And you're probably thinking like, that's their moment. They're gonna take out the first seed. Wait a minute. Hold up. No. Just you let yourself think. Now the pressure's on. Now you have to beat the first seed. Close it out. You're up in the game. You're up 24. Close that shit out. You earned that shit. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Kate Cunningham said, nah, fuck that. I'll just give me the ball. I'll just do literally everything. To be fair, he did. Magic, I want you guys to understand what this stat is. This stat might actually be one of the most disgusting things you'll ever hear. I'm not shitting you. The Magic, that game 6 had they had the lowest scoring half in a playoff game of all time. I'm not making that up. They had the lowest scoring playoff half ever. Do you know how many playoffs we've had in this league before I was even alive? Do you know how disgustingly hard you have to choke to not? They scored 1 point in 24 minutes, and it was Paulo Banchero's one free throw he made. They scored 1 point in 24 minutes. That is the lowest scoring half ever in a playoff game, ever. That is disgusting. That actually takes skill. That actually takes skill to choke that hard. Because if you guys don't know, Magic are the 8th seed, Pistons are the 1st seed. Magic upset them in the first few games. They're up 3-1. And the key mind goes, because Charles Berkeley always says this on Inside the NBA. Now and people understand when it comes to best of 5s, best of 7s, because the league is best of 5s. Now the pressure flips. So now all the pressure is on the Magic to close it out. You start the game, it goes really good. You're up 24. Now you win. As you saw with the Lakers against the Houston Rockets game, Lakers were up 20, almost 30. They close that shit out. And JJ Redick going to get that belt to ass if they don't close that game out. He's going to be like, nah, motherfucker, you ain't getting no food, LeBron. No food for you, LeBron, if you don't lose this game. God, those Lakers.
LeBron is taking his food. I don't think it's working.
JJ Redick is like, nah, you guys ain't getting food or no bitches after the night if you don't fucking close this game out. I'm not shitting you guys. There is no possible. How can you explain this to me? We are in 2026. Dudes is out here just chucking threes like Khan loves nipples. Just chucking threes. Are you telling me that none of them shit go in? Guys, lowest scoring playoff half in history. Do you know how many playoffs we've had since this league started? I can't even give you the number. I don't even know the number off the top of my head. That is actual skill to choke. Miraculous comeback. Pistons go from what? Down 24, then down 10 to winning the game 95 to 73? Actually, utterly insane. Then when you're watching this game, although Magic fans just boo their team as they should, y'all motherfuckers is straight up dookie ass. Absolutely just, oh, god damn, fuck. How do you choke that hard? Can you explain to me how someone chokes that hard? Porn stars don't choke that hard. That is disgusting.
Just bad basketball.
And now, you know what's crazy? Now the Pistons go, wait a minute. This was elimination game for us. We made a comeback. Wait a minute. Now it goes back home. Now it's just whoever wins.
They're winning the next one.
I'm good on that. Fuck, these people it's like the ultimate cock tease. They're like always flirting with you, always kind of making you think you're going to get them. But no, it's just, what in the world? I just don't get it.
It was really hard to watch, and they were playing such a good game.
Right?
They were playing such a good game that you were almost rooting for them. You were almost wanting them to win, wanting them to upset the first seed. Mm-hmm. And watching them vomit all over themselves the way they did in that third quarter, it was really bad. But it was just bad basketball. Like, this is really where they need a point guard because, like how you said, they were just chucking up shots, chucking up threes. Nobody was getting in the paint. And Banchero really, who was having a horrible game, it was really his time to step up. Like, your team got you that lead. I think at one point it was like 20-something. That's really where you have to close the game. You have to step up as the best player and close the game. On a game 6 situation, you have an opportunity to upset the first seed. Now you put yourself in a situation where, the Pistons come back and they got the confidence now of a first seed as they should. You almost had them dead to rights. They win the game and they're going into their home court, game 7, with the absolute utmost confidence. And the Magic just have a soul-crushing loss. That's going to be extremely hard to overcome. I think the series is over. I think the Pistons are winning it. And it's unfortunate because the Magic were so close.
Right. And then the other thing people have to realize is the game before the one we just saw yesterday, Paul Banchero had a 43-point game.
Great. Him and Cade were going back and forth.
Right. He actually outscored Cade by what? Just a few points, because he had more free throws than Cade. But the problem that the Magic have is, like you said before, they're just really so inconsistent. But when the series first started and they kind of, exposed the Pistons on how bad defense they are, you're like, is there a chance they could actually pull off the upset? That was their chance. And they were up. It wasn't one of those games where it was so back and forth that you're like, okay, I could understand they lost that. That's the biggest choke I've ever seen ever. Really, I've never seen something like that in my entire life. That's also disgusting too. You put that kind of performance on the front of your fans. Yeah, your fans should boo you. Fuck you. Your fans should boo you. You're fuck all you guys. What the hell is that? Keep in mind. It was the pressure. Yes. Oh, cause wait a minute. There's too much pressure, right? But it's not pressure being the 8th seed facing a first seed and going up 3-1, right? There's no pressure in that, right? Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, they had the lead. So really the pressure was on the Pistons to come back, because the Pistons were about to get eliminated. 3-1. They were down 3-1 on the series that they should have, gentlemen swept the Magic. So the pressure was on the Pistons, and you just got to close that out. That's inexcusable. That was just bad basketball. Nothing but perimeter jumpers. Paolo, he had a bad game. And, the series is over, in my opinion. If the Magic win, that'll be crazy. I'm not going to lie, but I think it's over.
I just do with how like the Trailblazers head coach this year got busted for match fixing.
Chauncey Billups.
Were you match fixing? Is that the trick now with these Magic with this Magic players? They just kind of competitively just sandbag people. So I figured out the plan, guys. Their plan was to choke this game as hard as possible to give us hope they're going to win the next game. That's the plan, right? No, it's not. They're actually going to get fucking clobbered. FBI, open up! I'm just pointing out, if it's ever revealed in that game, they got paid for match fixing or throwing. Just pointing out. I'm calling it right here. Just pointing it out. Because I'll prove it right here. Look, a historic comeback for Detroit to force Game 7. Trailed by 24 in quarter 3, closed the game on a 55-17 run, largest road comeback in a postseason elimination game in the play-by-play era. So because you guys remember, the NBA at one point wasn't broadcasted. It was, I forgot how, there was a different way.
Tape delayed. They just taped it and then aired it later on.
So basically, since modern NBA has existed, this has never happened. This also shouldn't happen in modern NBA. Dude, guys, just a day before this game happened, the Knicks had a point before the end of the first half where their score line was 72-22 against the Atlanta Hawks. 72-22. If I had a girlfriend, she'd like, nah, bitch, you ain't getting no pussy tonight. I agree with her. I don't deserve that night, because I'm getting blown the fuck out harder than I can blow her back out, obviously. So, god damn, this is just disgusting. I don't even know what I was watching. I was sitting there, me and the boys are sitting there watching this game. We're all looking at each other like this, like, are they just choking this? Come to find out they were. They're choking the shit out of just choking the shit out of this game. I was just so shocked. But I guess that's how pressure works. Guys, come on. There's pressure, and then there's just straight up choking. Come on, please.
I mean, that's what you get paid millions of dollars for, is to be able to handle the pressure, down the stretch.
And that's why players like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, all these people, you know why they're referred to as greats? Is because also in the clutch moments, they showed up and won. To be known as a good player, the stats are cool, the highlight dunks are cool. You got to be able to have that clutch factor. You have to.
Exactly.
And if Paul Banchero wants to be taken seriously as a star player, as he's the star player of their team, he's got to be that. You need that killer instinct. He had that killer instinct in a game they were surely going to lose, the one before that one. In game 5, he had it. Where was that last night in your home crowd? God, just unbelievable. Never seen a choke crazier than this. Unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. You couldn't believe the Pistons would win this game after seeing that fucking score at halftime. You wouldn't believe they could win that shit. But wait a minute.
I really didn't.
But wait a minute. It happened. Shadow Realm.
Looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo.
Goodbye, Magic. I banish you to the Shadow Realm. Get the fuck out of here. I've never been so down on a team ever in my entire life. But I last. Game 7. The famous words for the NBA playoffs. So Pistons and Magic go to Game 7. Cade Cunningham is playing absolutely, insane. This guy is just so unreal. Oh my God. Just woo. Good Lord. That's what happens. He's what I aspire to be. White, black, successful, and rich. And good at basketball. So Detroit and Orlando, Game 7. At this point, since the scores have evolved, Pistons just win. It's crazy. Now here's the crazy part. If the Pistons lose after getting them to choke that hard, then you're like, I don't even know what the series was. And it might go down as one of the biggest random, most question mark series ever.
That would be random. I don't think anybody would predict that.
The Pistons better not lose to them after making them choke as hard as they did. Because if they do, no one's going to even... Well, people are going to remember the match of choking, obviously. But it's going to be even more embarrassing on the Pistons after having that happen to them in Game 6. So, Cavs in Toronto... that was also another crazy game last night. I forgot the Raptors player's name. He made that Halliburton bounce 3, made it.
Tied it with RJ Barrett.
Yeah, dude just came up really clutch last night. And now the Cavs and the Raptors go to Game 7. Who do you have for this one winning it?
Well, I got the Cavs because I don't know when Brandon Ingram is coming back. And, Brandon Ingram, he missed last game too. And the fact that this game was even close was kind of surprising. And, here are the Cavaliers, a team that should be the favorites because they were the number 1 seed last year in the East. And this year they had a pretty good year. They have James Harden now. You'd think that's an improvement from Darius Garland. And, he's been playing well for them or whatever. But, it's always around this playoff time that James Harden just, he starts to blunder. He starts to lose his game. He starts to not have that type of regular season success. So he's not playing great, a lot of turnovers. I'm not sure what the stat line was looking like for him last night, but this is a team that really should be blowing out the Raptors without their best player or, their best scorer, Brandon Ingram, no question. And here we are at a Game 7, another unpredictable series. I got the Cavaliers coming out, though. Even with Brandon Ingram playing, I got faith that the Cavaliers, because they just have superior talent, are going to be.
One asterisk to your thing. I'll disagree with you. One asterisk, just one. Do you believe James Harden's choking will apply in this Game 7? Because, James Harden is known to be a massive choker when it comes to clutch final playoff games. Remember last year against Denver, he scored like 9 points in like all 4 quarters, something absolutely disgusting like that.
Infamous choker.
Do you think that finally, the pressure's on him now?
Yeah, but you know what the difference here is? He's not the number 1 option. Donovan Mitchell is. True. So I think Donovan Mitchell can still get him over the hump and he's, Donovan Mitchell isn't great either in these type of situations, but I think they have superior talent. They're way more talented than the Raptors. I think they'll be able to pull it out. It'll probably even be a blowout. I don't know, but James Harden choking, he might not have a good game. I can see that happening. I can see him, like a 7 turnover game,
I hope he doesn't, because it's crazy as he is very good. And it's just sad. He constantly has this dark cloud around him that he's just this massive playoff choker. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve that. He does deserve that. But it's just like, come on, like he's this old. What's crazy is I know people always give LeBron the credit for being as old as he is and still playing as good as he is in quotations. James Harden is almost just as old and he's still playing. He's still playing good too.
Now.
Yeah. It's so weird how only LeBron gets that credit. Like, well, he's this old and he's playing this good. There's other players doing that same thing, but biases are a bitch, right, dude? So It's just James Harden, in my opinion, is too good to be doing this. Like, how many? It's not. I'm not even making excuses for the guy. It's just like, at some point, if you want to be known as one of the best players ever, you're gonna have to actually win a title at some point. He always gets the regular season MVPs. He's one of the highest scorers ever. He's not a bad player. I don't get why he always something in his brain just falls apart in some of these games, though. But it's not happening in the series yet. And you're like, wait a minute. This is not James Harden. Wait a minute. I know this got to be a choker. But wait a minute. There's one game left, and I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it out. I hope he does. I hate how he's never won anything. He's probably going to be, dude, he's probably going to go down as one of the best players to never win anything, which is sad, actually, given how good he's been for long stretches of periods of time, actually.
Yeah, I used to be a big James Harden fan, and then, around the time he started winning the MVPs, it would just be choke job after choke job. Like, this guy had a pretty good Rockets team, and he never could get them over the hump in the finals. And, he was going up against, like, the Golden State Warriors, But, you just look at those performances, and it's hard to excuse him. Like, those are really bad performances. To be honest with you, I think it does come down to his play style. Because he has this very isolation-heavy play style, he'll very pick-and-roll heavy play style. He likes the ball in his hands a lot. And there are moments in the game where you maybe need to go off the ball a little more, where you maybe need to switch it up with like a mid-range game a little more, maybe like a post-up a little more, because the double is coming. When you're the best player on the team and the other team is putting the attention to you, they're going to load up on you. They're going to double you. And you can't just rely on your teammates to make big plays. You got to be able to take the load off of your teammates. That's what you're the max player for, to close those games out. And he hasn't been able to do it. A lot of that is the play style. And what's funny is that Kobe Bryant, before he died, he told James Harden, this was like maybe 2017, maybe a little later.
Controversy at the time was Kobe calling out James Harden's play style. And he wasn't even calling out his
called
dad.
him out. Well, not really. He's stating a fact. I thought it was a fact. It was that, that type of play style is just not conducive to winning championships. Nobody's won like that, and there's a reason for that. It looks great in the regular season when they're not game planning for you, every night. And
against random teams and best of ones. Yeah, anything is possible against random teams and best of ones. But when you're preparing for a team in a 7-game stretch potentially, or maybe 4-game stretch, teams go like, okay, just double up on that guy. That's it.
Load up on them in a 7-game series. Make somebody else beat you. That's the goal of every team. Make somebody else beat you. You got to be able to get over that as the best player. Find a way to get over that. And you do that by, switching up the play style. Maybe you're off the ball a little more. Maybe you go to the post up to the mid, get your own shot in a different way. But so it's really that. And Kobe Bryant told him, and I think he just brushed it off. I think he didn't really care too much about it. And, it's the result is what it is. He's ringless, and that it does affect his legacy, because had he had a ring, I'm sure we'd be looking at his career differently. But, he's just going to be one of those players where he was just never able to get over the hump.
True. And hopefully tonight he can prove that he is what's crazy is he's been playing for so long. He has to now prove that he can do good in the playoffs. It's crazy how he's been playing for so long that you just, because, you have those 1 years where it all comes together for you. Guys, he's not even had one of those years where it's all came together for him. He's never had that. It's always been just like, really? Holy shit, you got bounced out like that? Some of these games he's been getting bounced out of in the last few recent years, he's only scored like 11 points out of a whole, 4 quarters, actually. Crazy, actually. So hopefully coming up tonight or tomorrow when the games go, he can finally prove to people after all these many years, which he should be able to do, that he's not a playoff choker. Golly, if he loses this game, I'm going to be just, all right, I guess. All right, James. Knicks advance in the Eastern Conference Finals. Knicks advance into the Eastern Conference semifinals. I'll be honest with the series, guys. If the Knicks didn't straight up choke those first few games against them, this should be a 4-0. I know someone told me on YouTube, oh, dude, you're so smart. If they didn't choke, they'd be, yes. What? No, quite literally, the Knicks should have just won those first few games. There's no reason this should have ever went to 6 games. Knicks straight up just choked those games. I'm sorry. Like, they should have never. This should never be 6. This should have never been 6 games. I initially thought this could have been 7, given the play style of both teams. But then after the first 2 games, I was like, oh, dude, okay, you lose one game in a fluke manner like that. That's cool. It happens, right? Just 4-1. And then it went, Hawks are up 2-1. I'm like, wait, what? And then I watched the game. I was like, oh, they let Karl Anthony Towns game-winning shot. Oh, fuck me. What did I tell you guys before the playoffs? Never let that guy be your player to do a game-winning shot. And keep in mind, he had his best game of the season in game 4. He was absolutely just disgusting in the later few games. The Knicks should have never been going to 6 game with these guys. It should have never happened like that. But they did get it done. And they did get it done in a manner of, guys, the last game was what, 140-83? Just straight up fisting. They just went up and they just fisted their asshole. Just fisted them. God damn. Like, those Hawks players didn't get dinner at that. Coach, can we go out to a team dinner? No. Go home. Actually, we ain't going to dinner. What the fuck? We got blown out. Dude, half their crowd left at the end of the second half. That shit was a ghost town. Holy. I saw the live view. All them people left. Guys, before the half came up, it was 71-22. All them people left. Do you know how big of a choke the Knicks would have to have done to let them come back in that game? It would have been the biggest comeback in the NBA ever of all time. But no, the Knicks, they got it done. I was just super disappointed in them that it wasn't a 4-1 or a 4-0. They should have never, after game 1, it was like, come on, just come on. 4-1, 4-0, and then it got to game 6, and I was like, okay, come on, Knicks. Stop playing around. Come on, stop playing around. Just beat these guys. But what did you think about the Knicks-Hawks series, actually?
Well, it was surprising, like you said, that it went to 6, because the Knicks just have far superior talent. But, yeah, I agree. They kind of just they let go of the rope. I think it was game 2 where CJ McCollum had hit the game winner, and it was just bad execution down the stretch for the Knicks, and that ended up resulting in the loss. And that was really the one that hurt. But, they ended up getting it together, and they played good, and that last game was a blowout. It was hard to watch if you're an Atlanta fan. I can only imagine.
Fuck
so
them.
that's
that's
good stuff. That's the Heat kind of went through something like that similarly in last year when they played the Cavs. They got blown out by like 40 points or something like that one game. And it was bad from like the beginning. But so, it's a good series. The Hawks do have a lot of young players, though, that I think look promising. I think they're going in a promising direction. You got Dyson Daniels, great defender. You got him developing, and they have a couple other players there, too. So they'll be an interesting team down the stretch, but it's just the Knicks handling business, as they should. Right. They did good, yeah.
All right, in the last game, man, hey, as you guys know, Noobs Christensen is a Sixers fan, and going in after the series started in game 1, he was like, I already give up on them. I was like, bruh, he already gave up on them. Because, when you support a team for so long, like I have with the Lakers, like last year when they got blown out by the Timberwolves in game 1, I'm like, you lost the series. But MSK, you haven't seen how the series played out. Fuck you. I know how these things go. And they still lost anyway. So I was right. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm not one of those fans where it's like I'm always going to predict for them to win, even though I kind of know they're going to lose.
You're a realist.
You have to be. You got to be realistic, and they fucking they got blown out last year. And the Sixers. What's crazy is this should have been a 4-0. No, guys, it's game 7 now. Sixers haven't advanced conference semis in how long? It's been longer than that. So I've been out. I don't know how many. Because the last finals they were in was in 2001. They had back-to-back finals, and they haven't been in the finals in very long. How long has it been since they've been in the conference semis? I don't remember. They have been in the conference. They have not been to the conference semis that much in the last recent years. I remember they were against the Lakers, against the Kobe game-winning shot back in 2008, 2009. So yeah, it's been a minute. They've been pretty bad for a lot of down the stretch these last couple of years, and getting into a game 7 now against the Celtics. Also, it was just revealed on Twitter, from the Celtics Twitter account, that Jason Tatum is questionable to come in for tonight's game. Yikes. If the Sixers win this, I can't win this. Noops is gonna start. He's gonna do backflips on here, dude. He's gonna do backflips. No, Celtics, come on. It can't be that bad, right? You still have a lot of your good players. Come on, what's going on here? Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid are just putting belt to ass. I mean, it's been a good series on the stretch. I honestly don't know who's going to win, honestly. The Celtics could just come out straight up and just beat the shit out of them, honestly. Or it could be a series where it goes overtime. I don't know, honestly. I mean, I can't predict. I'm going to just do a coin flip. Just do a fucking coin toss and see who wins. Because it's actually very close now. And what's crazy is last year, the Celtics, they lost to the Knicks in the conference semifinals after they blew out the Magic in their series beforehand. It seems like the Celtics are also going to be going through that period where they're very good in the regular season, But then when it comes to the playoffs against like a few specific teams with that play style that they have, it just keeps getting exposed. Like it's not an efficient play style they have. Like for some reason, this play style they've been trying this for the last 2 years. Because you thought when they didn't have Jason Tatum and they had Jalen Green running the team, this is pretty good. He comes back, he makes their team even, you would say, better because he's their star player, right? But now you're looking at it like, did Jason Tatum coming back maybe kind of hinder their team? But it's weird to say that given the fact that they were doing kind of so good without him, and he wants to play. He just had his whole leg kind of exploded, actually, But I don't know at this point now. Like, who do you think has the pressure more now? I'm pretty sure it's the pressure's all on Boston now to win at this point.
Because they gotta be on Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be on Boston, and they gotta handle. Even without Jason Tatum, I think you gotta handle business and close this out. I'm willing to pick Boston though because I do believe in like that championship pedigree. They're champions, so they're coming into the game with confidence. Another surprising series. I'm surprised it's got this far, but like how you said, I think Joel Embiid coming in did give him a big lift, and he's been playing really well too. That's crazy that your friend is a Sixers fan though, man. I'm gonna pray for him. I hope that they can get over the hump, man. That's a rough.
I need them to lose.
That's a rough fan base right there.
I need it like Avengers Endgame, dude, where Hawkeye's like, "Don't give me hope. I need it. I need it."
Yeah,
well, my other friend, he's a Knicks fan. He's like, "Man, we just fisted the Hawks," and I'm like, I told him on Facebook, Hawks should just disband after that game. So your fucking poverty fucking franchise. Man, they got blown up by like 60. Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, it's hilarious. Couldn't happen to a better fucking organization. I love it. All right, Western Conference time. OKC, they handle the Suns. I mean, I think this was the only secure series you knew was going to be a 4-0. I mean, the Suns, after they lost that play-in game to the Trailblazers, because the Trailblazers ended up facing the Spurs after they beat the Suns in that play-in game, you knew the Suns wanted to win that play-in game because the Suns would have faced the Spurs, and they have actually matched up very well into the Spurs in the regular season. The Trailblazers have not matched up very well into OKC, which, to be fair, nobody really matches very well into the Thunder, actually. But better matchups if the Suns had won. But no, the Suns are gone. They're done. I don't know what their offseason is going to look like. They have some really good pieces there, but we'll have to see what comes of them. Lakers last night. Close out in 6 games. Yesterday when I did laundry, I saw an old black guy wearing a Lakers hat. I said Lakers in 6. He was like, "Well," he was like, "Yes, sir." I felt it. I felt it was in the air, and it happened. But now all that goodwill is going to come crashing down when we face the Thunder. Good Lord, please. I just want it to be over quickly. Just let it be over quickly, please. It's like when Diddy would use his lube. Just make it quick. Just make sure it's quick, okay? Please. But no,
I'm glad you're not one of these fans that are like, oh, the Lakers, they might have a chance here, they might win or something like that. You're kind of just
maybe a game. I could see the Lakers taking off a game, but that's the most I'm giving them. Unless they started out like the Thunder did. Not like the, oh my God. Unless the Lakers started out like the way the Magic did against the Pistons. I really just don't see it going anywhere, honestly. You would have to play so unbelievably well. Then you also have to count in. I like Shea too, but this man's got some flopping shit he does with the refs.
He's a flopper.
Yeah, the refs always give him favorable calls. I could see a game max, and that's only if it goes like maybe to overtime down the stretch. LeBron, Austin, fucking maybe Marcus Smart make a clutch 3. I just don't see them winning more than a single game. But then again, I just want a quick and over. Just give me quick and easy. I just want to get fisted. It's okay, right? Just let it happen. But the Rocket season is over, and oh God, where to even start? I mean, you kind of knew the series was cooked when Kevin Durant basically was like not playing most of the games. He didn't even
said I don't want to play.
Yeah, and people are gonna be like, well, did he play last night? No, actually in the pivotal game to move forward. He didn't play that game either. He didn't play game 1. He didn't play game 6. He didn't play game 4 or 5. Yeah, he only played game 2, I think. He only played game 2.
One game, it was game 2.
Yeah,
I think,
fucking crazy.
2, yeah.
I have a bruise on my knee. He
quit. You can't convince me he didn't quit.
Yeah, so the way that he told the press, he was like, I have a contusion on my right knee. Guys, that's a bruise. Guys, little kids get bruises when they fall and they cry. And your mom's like, it's okay, honey, go back and play. They're like, okay. That's what little kids have, guys. Give me a 5-year-old kids, guys, on playgrounds get bruises like that. I'm not like if what happened to him is like what happened to Bam. You know, like he fell on his back and he hurt his back. Okay, understandable. You can't play. That is fine. This guy got a bruise on his knee and he can't play. Are you serious right now? And then and keep in mind, he's so lucky Sengun was carrying this team so hard. And keep in mind, there's other players that played well too on the Rockets. I'm not saying they didn't, but it's just like, you know, if Sengun really didn't just, you know, have an amazing game, then they didn't really do anything, actually. You know, like Amon Thompson is fine. Reed Shepherd is like fine. Like their team needs a superstar too. And without Kevin Durant, it just was like, oh, okay. Like is Sengun really the guy to really push you over the hump? I think he could be. Needs help. He could be. But yeah, the Rocket season is over, man. And you remember that game? To be fair, this series should have went Game 7. Lakers did not deserve to win that game. Fucking Jabari Smith. You guys are, shit. Yeah. Oh, God. All they had to do, just run the ball, just run the ball. You don't get to foul. Don't foul. He fouled Marcus Smart, gave Marcus Smart like 3 free throws. Then LeBron hit a clutch 3, and then they brought the game to overtime. This series should have went to Game 7. They straight up choked. Not saying his team. Jabari Smith choked that game. Sengun played out of his mind to get that game a comeback. They were losing that game. Sengun did a comeback for them, and then Jabari Smith went, you know what? Fuck it. Like teams are like we're playing for like content games. No, you don't do content games in playoffs. Just fucking win. And then he massively choked, and then he got their team to be down, actually. I don't know how the Lakers won that game. LeBron did some of the most egregious turnovers I've ever seen in my entire life. Bro is out here just flopping his ass off. So, Rockets are done. Spurs and Trailblazers, I'll be honest here. This was... I thought Trailblazers would have got a game. I gave them one game. I figured they win a game. But that's it. That's it. This series is over. What's crazy is Wembanyama got a concussion, and he didn't even play in a few of the games. And oh my God, I forget. Oh my goodness. Castle. His name Castle.
Stephon Castle. Yeah.
Stephon is so good. God damn, he just beat the shit out of these guys. That was embarrassing. Oh God. Somebody's like Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox just put on a show against
De'Aaron Fox. Yep.
Yeah, dude, just put on a show against these guys. God damn, they got fucking destroyed in some of these games. There was that
They're
one,
a great team. They're a great team.
Yeah, it's a good team. And the one, I think it was Stephon Castle. He did that one dunk between 3 defenders, just slamming it right in front of. Just absolute disrespect, these motherfuckers. Just.
Oh my God!
Just all right. And now we get to the big one here. Bricolai choke a dick. Sorry, hurry. Nikolai chokes on dicks. No. Wait. Bricolai sucks a lot of dick. No. Okay, I can't do the meme. But no. The most surprising result is going to be Denver Nuggets losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now keep in mind, Timberwolves for the last 2 seasons have eliminated a 3rd seed. Last year, they eliminated the 3rd seed in Los Angeles Lakers. This year, they eliminated the 3rd seed in the Denver Nuggets, actually. What's crazier with this result than last year's is because last year they had Anthony Edwards. This year, he didn't play in the playoffs that much. After, I think it was game 2, he fell on his leg or his knee too hard, and he was just out. They lost like 2 other players. And I told you guys this when I was talking with Noobs and a lot of other people on the show. Denver can only really win when all their players are hitting on all cylinders. And keep in mind, Jokic is just not enough sometimes. Like Aaron Gordon was out some of the games. He's a big playmaker for them. Jamal Murray, like I said before, if he's playing really good, it's fucking great. Dude can put like 45 in some games, 35 in some games. He was absolutely horrendous dog shit in this series. I'm talking like you get demolished in every single way. Nothing this guy was doing was good. He himself was choking. He was just getting absolutely just mauled to death. So I don't know what you do as if you're Denver, right? Because like Denver, they opted in to get this one guy on a huge contract. They might I don't know if he resigns or whatever, but I don't know. I'll ask you, man. What did you think about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Nugget series? I don't think it was that surprising, given if people actually watched the series, right? Because like if you watch the series, you're like, I can see a world the Timberwolves win. I don't want the Timberwolves to win because fuck Minnesota. But alas, here we are.
I'll be honest. This was a shocker for me. I had the Nuggets winning this one, and maybe it wouldn't be surprising if the Timberwolves were healthy. They had Anthony Edwards or they had Dante DiVincenzo in there. I can see them beating the Nuggets because the Nuggets were never a great team to begin with this year. When I would watch them, I always thought they were problematic.
Yeah.
Had a lot of issues, a lot of injuries, a lot of inconsistent play in and out. But Nikola Jokic was, in my opinion, he's like a top 3 player in the NBA. I felt like he could have got you over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Timberwolves had the injuries, but the Nuggets just kept losing. They never played well enough in this series. And the Timberwolves looked like they really wanted it. Rudy Gobert played like, in my opinion, the greatest series in his life. It was crazy. He was looking dominant out there. So the Timberwolves just wanted it more, and they ended up beating the Nuggets. That was shocking to me. I'm going to be honest. I was surprised. I had the Nuggets winning on this one. And I think this is a big stain on Nikola Jokic's career. I think you have to look at it that way. And he has to, he's on the clock now. I think he has to really solidify himself as a player. I think you do need another ring. You need to be in contention.
I'll ask you.
You might need to leave.
Do you think losing? Because I've seen some of the Nuggets fans talk about this on Facebook and social and Twitter. Do you think them losing Russell Westbrook was a big problem for them? Because keep in mind, you remember last year they didn't opt into taking Russell Westbrook anymore in one of those playoff. Wait, I think it was against the Timberwolves last year. I think it was, and then
I think it was, yeah.
Or another team where they didn't want him playing anymore. They lost it in Game 7, even though he was a major reason why they actually won in the series before that against the Clippers. And then before the playoffs, remember they fired the head coach, and then now they have this new head coach. I don't know his name or what he's done, but I don't know what this guy really does, honestly. Because like they had a new coach. They let go of Russell Westbrook. They don't have Michael Porter anymore. Like Jaden McDaniels had a really good game. Julius Randle had a great game. Rudy Gobert was very good in the series, actually. Yeah, a lot of other you had a lot of other of their players really coming up huge. I guess the Timberwolves are always going to be one of those teams where basically they might be not favored going in, but can actually surprise kind of thing. And it's crazy. All their injuries still got them to win. Because if you guys watched, because you watched the game, I know you did. They were getting bodied in defense. They were getting just ran down the court. I'm like, what is this going on? Like, keep in mind, I don't know if they can fix. And keep in mind, they just couldn't fix their problems when it came down the stretch. And you're looking at the Nuggets team. You have Jokic, and it's like, okay, well, shouldn't he have a little bit more say in who gets to be on the team? As you guys know, NBA doesn't work like that. So if he's like, hey, I want X and X player, it doesn't just work like that. You can't just get X and X player. It depends on draft picks and all this other shit, salary caps and all this stuff. Do you think the Nuggets just offload Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murphy now? You think it's that time where they just go, you know what? I think we've run out of time. I think it's over.
I think you got to move on with Jamal Murray. I think that experiment is done. And, you got to pivot. I would try to, if you could, keep Aaron Gordon. If it makes sense to move him. But I like Aaron Gordon and the chemistry that he has with Nikola Jokic. But you got to move on with Jamal Murray. You need to give Jokic another ball handler, another like perimeter lockdown, another wing defender. But to answer your question earlier about Russell Westbrook, I really don't think Russell Westbrook would have made a big difference in this series. Yeah. Good player. I like Russell Westbrook, but I don't think they say that when he was on the Nuggets, there was a lot of turmoil in the locker room, and
I can imagine
one of the reasons
his
why
personality
Michael Malone got fired.
Cause that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. As it has in a lot of locker rooms, as it has in the Lakers and the Clippers. But so he's an acquired taste. You got to
remember that Lakers game where he's talking to Austin Reeves like ball never lie, bro. We say ball never lie in our fucking random shitty games that don't mean shit. What the fuck? This guy's crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember, didn't they make? It was one of the players. Yeah, it was Peyton Watson. They gave that huge contract to. It was like for $125 million over signing another guy. It's like, yeah, they're gonna have to do some retooling. Some of these guys, as you guys have seen in the Nuggets these past couple of years, it's over for them. Honestly, like they rely so much on Jokic that you would think it would allow Jamal Murray to put up some of those 30, 40-point games he had, but he just had a really horrible series, actually. And you know what? This is going to be a stain, like I said before, it's going to be a stain on Jokic's career because people are calling this guy like the best player and everything. And they're going to be like, well, why is this guy not able to just drag a team? It's like, it is hard. It's just hard to do it. I'm not going to say it's not bad on him. It's just, looking at the games, it's just one man can only do so much to the point where what else more can you do, actually, because if he's getting 3v1 on the court and no one else is giving him any proper screens, pick and rolls are not there. It's like, what else can you do at that point,
Yeah, I agree. I still think he's like a top 3, top 5 player in the league, but no question, like when you look at all time, like, especially if he has no further success, like if he doesn't make another finals, doesn't get another ring, like,
right.
He didn't really have a great peak, but like that.
All right. So, and actually now we have the semifinal. Oh, we have to know who these are coming up very soon. So conference.
Can I ask, you said you're a Lakers fan, right?
Yes.
How do the Lakers, how do you feel about like LeBron James and his tenure with the Lakers? Like, do Laker fans look at that fondly, or they're like, is that
it depends on who you ask. For me, LeBron's always been an acquired, like with Russell Westbrook, it's always been an acquired taste to me. I feel like he's been, most of his Laker tenure, I feel like has been very, I don't know, I guess. So he got, I mean, if you count these, he won the bubble championship. I don't know if you count that. That's up to whoever you ask.
I'll count it. I'll give it to him,
He also won the NBA Cup. I don't know if people count that. They can't.
Oh, I don't count that. I don't care nothing about that. Yeah. If the idea was that he came over and won something, I guess on the pure surface level, you could count that, right? But right, he did his job.
But the thing here, I've had a problem with him is like, my problem with him specifically comes down to the stretch. I think there's this massive, not like laziness, I would say, but he's been really inconsistent with a lot of these games, right? I feel like, I don't know, it's like, I don't feel like getting rid of him would be actually a net benefit, honestly, because I feel like what he's contributing isn't much, honestly. Like he's doing his job, but I feel like people are overrating his job, right? Because earlier this year, when it was just Austin and Luka just doing the team, they were fine. So, and keep in mind, in his contract, he has no trade clause in his contract. But we saw that without him, he's just fine. If Luka and Austin stay healthy and they have maybe Marcus Smart help, and they maybe have a few other players like, I keep forgetting some of their names here. They have Luke Kennard now, Jake Laveria, maybe some of these other guys, you give them some space to play. It might actually be a silently decent underdog team. So they've shown they don't really need him. Because keep in mind, when they had their, like Luka and Austin were out and they had those blowout games against other teams, he wasn't the major difference maker in some of those. Actually, it was kind of a big reason why they lost all those games too. Also, one of the major reasons why they got into the position of 6 games, because he did a lot of dumb turnovers with a lot of his plays. I would always kind of weirdly respect LeBron, but I'm not one of those people that always he's like a top 5 player of all time. No way.
Really? Not top 5 all time?
Top 10 for sure.
Dang.
I think longevity, top 10. But I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think on the Lakers, I think the age is starting to show with him. And that's not his fault.
Of course, he's like 41, 42.
Yeah. But I would say, when he's on, doing triple doubles, giving the passes, I think he needs to stop turning with the ball so much. Because he has games where he's playing really well. He's had games he's like, okay, LeBron, hey, yo, successful in black. That's what I already am, obviously. But do you think people overrate LeBron or underrate him? Because I feel like he's just, in my opinion, outside of the inconsistency, I'll say he's just good. He's just a solid, good player, right? But he needs help at his age, though. That's why he said it, right? He said, man, losing Luka and Austin was a huge blow to the team, because he knows that it's hard to do it at his age right now with kind of helping out the team and stuff like that. But then again, hey, I could be wrong. What do I know? I'm just a hot rich guy with a webcam.
Yeah, well, he's obviously old now. He definitely needs help. He can't carry a team like he once could. So yeah, no Luka, and Austin Reeves coming in late definitely didn't help him. But top 10 all time. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I maybe have him like top 3 all time. Definitely not the greatest. I mean, in that sense, I guess I would say he's overrated, because a lot of people say he's the greatest. But I would say he's probably top 3, top 2. You know, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
be mad
because
at that
for me, I have to
do you
look
have
at all
Kobe
the
over?
players. Do you? Because I would. I don't know. It just depends. It depends. Like, I think they're.
I've heard the argument, but I wouldn't. Not all time. Not all time.
Like it's sort of just
Kobe's
depends
top
on who you
5
ask.
though. He's top 5. Yeah, of
Man,
course, of course.
I love.
But I value
wow.
winning, so Kobe's up there.
Yeah, I imagine you have Michael Jordan as your all-time number 1.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Yeah, Michael Jordan number 1. I guess
when you
Kareem
go down the
LeBron
stretch,
number 2.
Yeah, so I'm going on the stretch. You have like Kareem, Michael, like you said for Kobe. Do you have people like Tim Duncan in there in your list?
Of course, you gotta have
right,
him.
right,
You gotta have
right.
Tim
Do
Duncan.
you have like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson?
Larry
in your
Bird's
list,
up there. Yeah, those are top 10. Magic
Mhm.
Johnson probably top 5.
And you start going on the list. Like, would you have Steph Curry over LeBron in your list if it came down to like you needed?
No.
Okay. Who else is there? Fucking hell! It's like, yeah, I never actually. I got to do that one day. Who, like top 10 actually, but no, LeBron will probably be there in the top 10. I just don't know where because it just depends on because everyone's list is so different for what they value in a player, right? And keep in mind, I do value longevity too. And keep in mind, LeBron being able to be like as healthy as he is and playing the game as much as he is and being as healthy, that alone would put you in the top 10. Right, that alone probably puts you in maybe top 5, given how long you played the game, given how long you've been competitive. Keep in mind, he's one of the few Laker players with some of their rosters that have gotten to 50 back-to-back wins. Because because I remember before he came, man, seasons were bad. Do you remember the Dwight Howard Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe roster? I felt so bad for Kobe with Dwight Howard.
Those were great.
Woo, no, they weren't.
Yeah, Kobe had a really good season that year too. I think that was like 2013, and it was just injuries.
Well, they got thrown out by the Suns. Yeah, man, fuck, that sucks. Yeah, man, they gave my boy Kobe Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard didn't know about the Mamba mentality. He did not know about that. He wants you to work for them.
Yeah,
for them
that
wins.
wasn't great. That wasn't great.
But no, I think it just like I will say if LeBron is able, do you think there's a chance Lakers get a game against the Thunder?
I could see him getting a game, maybe 2. I can even see him getting 2. Yeah, I can see it.
But winning the series, and I'll ask you, do you think LeBron losing this series affects his legacy? Because
it really doesn't.
There are people that see him as the GOAT already. Doesn't really change much at this point. You know, like I said before, I do value a lot of things he does. I just wish some of the more consistency was there, you know? Because do you remember that play that happened against the Rockets where he was fucking dribbling and he gave the ball over and he was just walking to get back on defense? I was like, LeBron,
yeah,
come on,
he has a lot of those.
To be fair to him, he did make that clutch game-winning 3 to get us back in the game, though. I will give him that. He did do that. So, any other NBA opinion?
Yeah, so I imagine you have the Spurs beating the Timberwolves, right, in the next round.
You probably should. You probably should.
I think you got to.
I think unless the Timberwolves play as good as they did in the Nuggets series, the Spurs should win. I'm joking. The Spurs should win.
And the Spurs are way better than the Nuggets, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you think if Wembanyama gets another concussion, that it kind of affects them? Actually, I don't think so because Stephon Castle.
Not for this series. Not for this series. They just have a really good team, really young.
Thunder in 4? No, Thunder in 5. Spurs in 6. I think that's fair, right?
Okay. I got the Spurs and I got the Spurs sweeping. Honestly, I think that's going to be a sweep. And I don't think Anthony Edwards is coming back anytime soon.
No,
so I think the Spurs are sweeping.
Yeah.
I think that's a sweep. The Spurs are a really good team, and Wembanyama is playing out of his mind. So the conference finals most likely is going to be Spurs,
like we thought,
and Thunder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really like the finals matchup. That's what everybody's looking forward to. Who do you think wins that series? Right. That's really like the finals.
Very well.
Like
Spurs did very well into the Thunder this year. Actually, they're the reason why they didn't make the NBA Cup Finals, earlier back. But to be fair, that was a very, very close game too. That was actually a very close game between them too. But the Spurs have had Thunder's number in the regular season at least. Now I'm gonna have to see how their games pan out in these. So after these games play out, I'll see. I'm pretty favorite enough. I would actually have to. Do you think the Spurs win? I think you should have the Spurs favorite to win that. It depends. I think it's very 50-50. Not like that, right?
Yeah.
It just depends because I feel like both teams are actually pretty evenly matched, honestly. I think Wembanyama might be the difference maker, though. That might be the major one, though. But then you can say Wembanyama
playing out of his mind. Shea is the difference maker there.
That's the problem. See, that's the problem that both teams
I
have.
don't know. Yeah, yeah.
They're actually on the
really.
same level. Yeah.
They are, and it would depend on who you ask. But yeah, in terms of who would be the favorites, I don't know. That is a tough question. But I would say
really
the Thunder etch it out. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So like now that we know these, so pretty much we have what Thunder, Spurs here, right? That's fair.
Right.
Okay, so out of this one, it's gonna be hard to predict because the games haven't played out yet. So I'll kind of coin flip it. So just in case we don't have any more NBA episodes for like a week after these games play out. So you think the Celtics go here, right? You think they're pulling it out?
I do.
Who do you think wins out of the Celtics and the Knicks, though?
That's a good one. I'm interested to see that one. I think that'll actually be a really good series. Oh man, that's tough. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Celtics. I'm gonna have to go with the Celtics in 7. I think it'll go to 7.
Okay.
Jason Tatum, he's working himself back in, and the Celtics, they do have that championship pedigree. And the Knicks, I just don't see it yet with the Knicks. So I got the Celtics in 7, but that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a close one. I don't know who you had there.
Yeah. And because I'll predict it 2 ways. What if the Sixers beat the Celtics and they face the Knicks instead?
Oh, the Knicks that'll be a gentleman sweep on the Knicks part. I think, yeah, they'll get them out of there quickly.
Karl Anthony Towns is going to be putting fucking the way that Shaq did that famous dunk where his nuts were all over that guy's face. That's what Karl Anthony Towns is going to be doing to the fucking Sixers players. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson needs to stop getting thrown out. Stop acting like that. He does not need to be getting thrown out of games like that because to factor in, if Karl Anthony Towns is tired and needs a rest, Mitchell Robinson's got to be that guy to step up and be that big man they need. He can't be arguing, getting thrown out of games like that. You're about to lose the whole fucking playoffs doing shit like that. Don't do that. So I would say, yeah, if the Celtics face them, I would have the Celtics favored in that one still, because the Knicks, for as good as they are, they're how would I say this? They're like a glass cannon. When they go off, it looks very good. But if there's ever a team that can kind of match their offense, they get very challenged. They kind of struggle.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I think the Celtics are very good at matching their offense. Actually,
I agree.
Sixers, no. I think the Sixers are going to hit they.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I feel bad for the Sixers because that's the thing though. You would think that the Knicks would be an easier matchup for the Sixers if they get to the Celtics, but I don't think so. I think the Knicks match up very well into the Sixers. Actually,
I agree.
If the Pistons beat the Magic, they'll be in the conference semifinals. So what if it's the Pistons and the Cavs? Who do you think is winning that one?
I got the Pistons on that one. I think they'll feel good coming out of the Magic series. I think they'll get. I think the Magic series was like a wake up call for them. Like, we gotta play good every game. And if the Cavs come out of that series, they're gonna look at the Cavs as a formidable opponent. They're gonna want to bring their A game. So I got the Pistons coming out of that one. And I do think they just have better players, the Pistons. And, they got the defense and all that. And the Cavs, again, you got the question of James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. These aren't really proven players in the playoffs. I got the Pistons coming out of that one, yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's see. And then, so if Pistons make it here, that means the Magic are out. Oh, this would be crazy. Let's say the Magic bounce back from the biggest choke job ever, and then they face the Cavs.
They're going to the finals. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, could you imagine the Magic in the
That would be crazy.
Woo,
yeah, that would be crazy.
I don't live in that timeline. Fuck that. Pistons, please win. I just can't. I can't have hope for a team that chokes that hard. Please just win. And Kim, hell. Old man Joe is a Pistons fan too. God, I hate all you guys' teams. I don't want them winning at all. But I have to be a realist. I got to predict correctly. I think. Yeah, so it should be Pistons, Cavs. It should be.
Yeah.
But I could see a world it's Pistons, Raptors. If it's Pistons, Raptors, I don't know. That's a very odd match. No, Pistons probably should be Pistons should be definitely favored in that one. So,
yeah. I think that'll be a good series too, though, because the Raptors are a pretty physical team. It'll be a good series.
Detroit, I forgot. This Detroit Magic team that's been the most physical fucking series I've seen in a while. Hands thrown everywhere. So yeah, man, it was great. Doing this first intro episode with you after talking on the phone actually. So last few things I'll ask you before we head out. So first thing is, do you have anything coming up in the pipeline? Do you plan on being like a content creator in the future, or just being anything else you got planned on the side?
Well, I actually do have I have a YouTube channel. It's called Basketball Composition, and I just upload like old school basketball highlights. If anybody's interested in that, they can go check that out. But I'll just
Okay.
upload old school basketball highlights. If that's the type of stuff you're into. You can check that out.
Hell yeah. And also the one of the last few things I'll ask you, because I don't think I did. Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit. What do you think about like ESPN and like First Take and Inside the NBA and shows like that?
Man, all those shows digressed hugely because I remember First Take when it was Stephen A. Skip and Skip Bayless, and that's like prime First Take. That's like
Prime. Yeah,
again
yeah.
around the Heat those days. This is when like the NBA media was still really good. Like this was must watch television, and so those were great. And then when Skip Bayless left, and he had his own show with Undisputed and all that, and those were good. But they're just all watered down nowadays. I don't they don't capture that fire that First Take ones did when it was Stephen A. Skip and Skip Bayless. And so, I think they got, you got like side shows like Inside the NBA is good. I like that dynamic that they have going on. They've been together a long time.
That was, dude, it was so cringe. Remember to see people hate on them earlier this year? I'm like,
yeah, I did they really? Yeah, I don't understand.
People were saying things like they don't know anything about the game. Imagine some fucking no-name loser who's
right. You're gonna tell Shaquille O'Neal he knows nothing about the game. Yeah. So it's funny,
cringe,
but they are more. Yeah. No, it's everybody has an opinion now, but they are more like for a comedic taste. So you just got to know what you're going in for. Charles Barkley, he's a funny guy. He's very entertaining. I'm not going to Charles Barkley for my basketball takes. I'm going in there for to have a good time for entertainment. I'm
he's
looking
doing all the strays today. Why is everyone taking strays from you today? What did they do to you?
Bruh.
No. I like all these guys. Like I really do like Charles Barkley. He's very entertaining. I'm just not, going to the guy for X's and O's.
Well, my thing is like some random retard who probably eats out of the trash can, letting his girlfriend peg him, being like, man, I think Shaquille O'Neal doesn't know anything about basketball. Holy shit, what a take. Absolutely. Right. What kind of planet are we living on with some of these? That's not entitled. And it's crazy how people go like, right, no, you're just wrong. If you think Shaquille and oh my God, Charles Barkley and Kenny and those guys don't know basketball, you are retarded. Your brain is just mayonnaise. What?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Random guy who eats out of a trash can, letting his wife peg him every night because she lets her fuck every single guy. Yeah, they don't know about basketball. Okay, dude. All right, buddy. Hold the brakes here. But no. It depends. Like, in mind, like, I think Derek Wire taste stinks. I watch it all because I just love watching this stuff. But I just
What's your favorite?
I will say Stephen A. Smith definitely can be an acquired taste, but I do believe he's necessary for the scene. People keep saying he's like bad for the scene and he talks shit about players. I think it's necessary. I feel like you need to gauge emotion out of people. It's good to have people emotional about your take. That way it gets people talking. Skip Bayless says some utterly crazy things, but I do like what he says. I think it's fun.
Has to go, man.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless
but
is
you
great.
need that though. I feel like, you said before there's a lack of passion with some of these fans. That's why I like them. They can give those takes. Skip Bayless will say, I think the fucking Warriors are the best team right now. And everyone's like, what the fuck? That's not true. My team is. You need that. You absolutely need that. I don't like. There's one show that is kind of boring though. That one white guy, forgot his name. Oh my God, he has that show where the cameras are panned like this. That one's kind of boring. I forget the name of it right now. Oh my God.
I think you're talking about what's his name?
It's with Wendy. I forgot his name. It's with Wendy. That one's all right. Like that one's very like. To be fair, they're not. I forget on ESPN. They're not really trying to give like super hot takes. It's very corporate structured. You know what I mean? Like they're not
unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how you said the passion is not there. It was that's why you like people like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, because these people, although they give sometimes you might think they give ridiculous takes, they do believe it. I do think Skip Bayless truly believes LeBron James is to go, Tom Brady to go.
Dude, he said the Mavericks were gonna be in the fucking conference finals earlier this year in a tweet.
Crazy.
Bruh,
Yeah, I don't know what possessed him to say that. Yeah, but I do think he believes it from the bottom of it. So you don't have people like that nowadays. It's like how you said earlier, Kendrick Perkins. Like Kendrick Perkins has admitted in the past that he gets fed, takes to say on ESPN.
Oh, he gets fed all right. We know
what
that
are we
for
doing
sure.
here?
He-
Right. Well,
he's
yeah,
getting
he's
fed.
eating well, no question. But so you don't have that type of dynamic anymore. You kind of miss it. You need more people in there with that type of passion and love for the game. So it's unfortunate, but
Yeah. Oh, Hoop Collective. Yeah, that one could be on the little bit of the boring side sometimes. I mean, I feel like all of these shows have their purpose. It's just when you have a lack of a person, because sometimes you gotta be. I feel like some of these guys don't want to be the villain, and I feel like the only true villain they have is like Stephen A. Smith sometimes, and it's like he's not really the villain though. He's just. I feel like he truly does believe what he says. Honestly, I feel like he does.
I agree.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. I just don't think that they have these opinions that they really thought out, and like they just don't really love it to that extent. They're kind of getting their opinions from social media, or they'll look at what somebody else says and either agree or disagree. But like these people like Skip Bayless, like he breathes basketball. That guy loves basketball. Is what he likes to do. So these takes just come naturally to him. So yeah, you need more of that, I think.
Oh God, what was the last? He said, so the Lakers beat the Rockets with Kevin Durant playing 1/2 of 6 games. This man will never stop shading LeBron ever. The LeBron
good, man. LeBron's good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not, but I'm not saying he's always the greatest though, because that always sucking. That's the problem with ESPN. They're always sucking people off though. That's the problem.
It's crazy.
They always keep saying, why don't other players get the recognition? Holy shit. You're supposed to do that. That's your job. You're supposed to give recognition to these people. That is literally your job. It's not my job to just random player on the fucking Wolves should be the best. You're supposed to bill me on why he's good.
Yeah, exactly. But that just goes to show you, like how you said earlier, it's, the passion isn't there. It's more corporate now, like how you said ESPN was corporate. And these people are just, they're taking the safe takes and they're watching the popular teams. They don't really love basketball and are watching these obscure teams and looking at who's coming up or nothing like that. It's LeBron and, because those are the money makers. Those are what's going to get you the clicks and all that. So it really is corporate now. The love for the game is just not there anymore.
I would love to have a show. I would love to have to. Good Lord, I would love to have a show one of these days where all of us are here and I just have the music playing. Well, hello everyone, welcome back to Fuck Me, and we're gonna watch the NBA today. I guarantee the Lakers are getting blown out today. Oh no, 12 guarantees. I guarantee we are winning one of these games in this fucking series. Oh, it's gonna come back.
That's good, man. Optimism.
It's gonna bite me in the ass. Imagine if they actually upset them and win the series. That would
be crazy.
I'm like, hey guys, yeah, we won. Always thought of it myself. Wink, wink. All right. So last thing I'll ask you is, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular and anything else you want to say before we head out?
No. I just appreciate you having me on. I had a good time. Great conversation, talk about the NBA, and I just had a good time. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much it there.
Yeah, man. I'll say, thanks to your dad for putting us in contact. I've never had that. Someone's parent put me in contact with their
crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. But no, it was great talking about the NBA and getting a chance to catch up on all these games, because as you guys know, trying to, get something good going here in the future when it comes to like covering NBA and NFL. But I'm gonna make sure I watch football games more. I watch the games. It's just I need to be a little bit more involved. But basketball is just my number one sport. I always loved it as a kid growing up. But goddamn, conference finals is gonna be Thunder and Spurs. Because sorry, Lakers. I love you, but. It's one of those things where I love you.
The Lakers had their time already, man. Let's make room for somebody else.
Why can't they win another one? Why can't they win a real championship? Come on, man. Give me a real one. Give me a trophy.
Yeah.
I guess bubble trophy is the last thing I'm getting. Imagine if that's the last Laker trophy for the last 10 years is just a trophy one where you couldn't even go see the games. Don't do that to me. Bad. Don't give me hope, please.
It's LA. I think you'll be all right. I think the Lakers will be all right.
Hell yeah. So thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Cloud9 Podcast.